Pakistan and Afghanistan's Taliban authorities say Pakistan struck targets inside Afghanistan's major cities overnight as cross-border fighting intensified after months of tensions and repeated skirmishes along the frontier. Pakistani security sources said the overnight action involved both air and ground strikes aimed at Taliban posts, headquarters, and ammunition depots in multiple sectors along the border. Taliban officials also acknowledged strikes and both sides reported heavy losses, though the figures have not been independently verified. The escalation marks the most serious flare-up between the neighbors in months, raising fears for the fragile ceasefire along their fleet 2,600-kilometer border and a deepening long-running dispute over Pakistan's allegation that Afghanistan is sheltering Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan militants. The Taliban denied the charge. Afghanistan's Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi condemned the attacks, calling them a mistake by Pakistan and warning of consequences for relations between the two countries.
अलबत्ता सरहदी इलाकों में जो हमारे दूर दराज इलाके हैं वहाँ पे कुछ अटैक हुआ है, हम उसकी मज़म्मत करता है और हम पाकिस्तान हुकूमत का ये काम एक बड़ा गलती समझता है।
The latest escalation comes against a backdrop of repeated clashes over the past year, including earlier exchanges of fire in October 2025 that prompted border closures and disruptions to trade and travel. At the time, Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar described Taliban firing and raids as a serious provocation and said Pakistan's response targeted militant infrastructure while insisting civilian populations were not the intended target. Afghanistan's Taliban authorities had previously said mediators, including Qatar and Saudi Arabia, helped cool tensions after those clashes, with Muttaqi saying the fighting stopped from Afghanistan's side and that Kabul wanted good relations with Pakistan.
हमारे दोस्त ममालिक जैसा कतर और सऊदी अरबिस्तान उन्होंने ख्वास्ता उन्होंने तलब किया कि अभी जंग रुकना चाहिए, तो हमारे तरफ से जंग रुका हुआ और अभी हालात कंट्रोल में हैं।
But the October violence also left civilians on both sides of the border caught in the middle. In Chaman, hundreds of people were stranded when crossings were shut, and Afghan families appealed for dialogue, saying war brings losses for both sides.
دونه پیسې لرو چې د شپې او ډوډۍ او نور خرچه وکړو، زنانې را سره دي، مریضان را سره دي، سپین را سره دي، نو دوی باید خپل مسله د خبرو د لارې سره حل کړي. جنگ هیڅ نه دی جوړ، په جنگ ولا یا دوی خیر وي یا ولا هغه وي.
In Afghanistan's Spin Boldak, hospitals treated wounded civilians after renewed fighting, and officials reported that many of the casualties were women and children. Pakistan, meanwhile, accused Afghanistan of destabilizing the border region and said talks were aimed at workable resolution.
تقریبا د شپې د 4 بجو څخه جنگ شروع شوی دی. ټول ماشومان زخمیان روان دي، ښځې شهیدان شوي دي، یعنې په سل کې 99% د ټوله ملکیان دي، زنانه، ښځې، ماشومان، څوک شهیدان شوي دي، څوک اوس هم پراته دي. نو ابتداوي انشاءالله د تعمیر د دفتر د جب نشي د ټولو موږ ته امبولانسونه میرویس روغتون ټوله را رسولي دي، کار روان دی، خدمت کیږي، کوم زخمیان چې راځي موږ ته زنانه ماشومان موږ یې کور کوو، موږ سره سرجنان هر څه شته، بیا موږ کندهار.
Pakistan is deeply concerned at the unwarranted aggression by the Afghan Taliban, Fitna al-Kharij, Fitna al-Hindustan along the Pakistan-Afghanistan border on the nights of 11-12 and then 14-15 October 2025. Such unprovoked actions aimed at destabilizing the Pakistan-Afghanistan border belied the overall spirit of peaceful neighborhood and cooperative relations between the two neighboring countries. Both sides are making sincere efforts to find a positive resolution to this complex but solvable issue.
There were subsequent attempts to formalize calm. Photographs and statements released in October 2025 showed ceasefire talks in Doha, mediated by Qatar and Turkey, followed by further discussions in Istanbul that aimed to set up monitoring and verification mechanisms. Now, with strikes reported inside Afghanistan's major cities and both sides trading accusations and casualty claims, the situation risks spiraling again unless there is rapid diplomacy and credible steps to address the security concerns driving the confrontation.